All right. Good afternoon. About 2 hours ago, former Williamson Mayor Charles Hatfield pled guilty to theft or bribery concerning programs receiving federal funds. Mr. Hatfield, age 61 of Williamson, is the former mayor of Williamson. He admitted that while he was the chief executive officer of the Williamson Memorial Hospital, he stole $34,872.62 in hospital funds for personal use and without authorization. He became the CEO or interim CEO of Williamson Memorial in September of 2018. As CEO, he had control over all the bank's accounts and finances and took custody and control of the checkbook. He was relieved of those duties in September of 2019. Shortly thereafter, in October, the 76-bed hospital filed for bankruptcy. What he did, on May 16, 2019, he directed $9,197.62 in hospital funds be used to purchase a cashier's check. That cashier's check was made out to an individual in Venice, Florida, and it was used to settle a personal lawsuit involving some unpaid real estate taxes and homeowners fees of a personal condominium that Mr. Hatfield owned in Venice, Florida. On September 25th, he then directed $25,675 in hospital funds to Mid-Mountain Properties, which was a real estate company that was owned by Mr. Hatfield. What's really disturbing on this was this transaction occurred just days prior to the hospital filing for bankruptcy. And it also occurred at the time when the hospital did not have enough funds to appropriately fund its employee benefits programs, including retirement and health care. He further admitted that he did not tell the other owners of Williamson Memorial that he was using these transferred funds to pay for personal obligations. He's scheduled to be sentenced on September 12th this year at 1:30. He faces a maximum penalty of 10 years in prison, 3 years of supervised release, and a $250,000 fine. He also owes the amount of $34,872.62 in restitution. Mr. Hatfield abused a position of trust and diverted funds for personal gain from a hospital that was providing a good resource for the community of Williamson and the surrounding areas. I would like to acknowledge several investigative agencies that helped us with this. That includes the Federal Bureau of Investigation, the West Virginia State Police and the Bureau of Criminal Investigations, the United States Secret Service, the U.S. Department of Labor, Employee Benefits Security Administration, Investigator Steve Rowley out of my office, and Assistant United States Attorney Andrew Tessman for his prosecution of this case. I do want to note that while he was the mayor of Williamson at this time, his elected position was not pertinent to this case. It's my understanding that he did resign from that position earlier this month, and that was by his choice. That was not part of any agreement with the U.S. Attorney's Office. That being said, is there any questions?
Are there any other people that are being looked at? I thought when he made his plea, he indicated that some of the workers were immediately aware of what had happened, and some of the board members were told a few days later.
Nobody we're looking at on this particular crime. He was the only one to benefit from it. The money, they were basically employees acting at his direction to fund his condominium fees and to help his personal real estate property. So no, we're not looking at anybody else concerning this particular action.
Would he have been required, the judge warned him that the ability to hold public office might be a right he lost. Would that have likely been an impact after his guilty plea?
In all likelihood, yes. We just did not make it part of our plea agreement. That was something he did on his own. Other questions?
There's been other investigations into Mayor Hatfield over the years having to do with his real estate. Did anything come to light about those investigations and the fraud?
I'm going to not comment on that simply because Department of Justice policy, we're not supposed to comment on a pending investigations or investigations that are not done or investigations that we did and did not actually prosecute. Okay? Any other questions?
What's his exposure? 10 years?
10 years. Anything else? All right. Thank you all very much.